Easy answer. First of all, singing in church where I grew up in Spring Cottage, Mississippi. That's near Columbia, which is close to Hattiesburg, where I was born. And it was the family church that I grew up singing in. And then, of course, singing for the people on the playground, the other kids, and my family members. That's how it all started. And then I got my first paying gig on Hardy Street in Hattiesburg at an old pizza joint. But before that, let me see, the first time I got on stage was at the old EJ's Lounge at Ramada Inn on Highway 49. So we're going way back. And then eventually, I joined a band and toured for a little while around the South. And God, it's a long story. You don't want that long of an answer, do you? But that's how it all started, from the church and family and singing for other kids and people who visited. That's where it started. I have an answer for that too. I created this label for myself. I call myself an outgoing introvert because of what I do. I have to make myself get over the shyness because I'm really, really shy. And so it's the gift that God gave me. It requires that I be a performer. So I hope that answered your question.
It does.
Okay, good.
Here's something that I run into often. It's kind of the thin line between confidence and cocky.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any advice for me in terms of confidence and cocky?
Well, you just need a mama like mine. My mama always told me to, be humble and remember where you come from and realize that what you've got is a gift and it's your responsibility to use it to its best advantage. And that when you get unsure about where you are with it, you just go to the heart of it, which is the reason you do it in the first place. And that comes from, somewhere else. It doesn't come from you. And that's what I would say. Go back to that.
That's good. I needed that. I really
honor your art. Honor where it comes from. It doesn't come from a place that you need to impress other people or be the best or anything. It comes from a place of spirituality and connecting with other human beings and with whatever you believe God to be, and the power of this planet that we live on. It's all there. You're just a conduit. Let it happen.
That's very good.
Yeah, amen. Gosh, it depends on the circumstances whether I prefer a solo or a band. Most of what I do is a solo, and the good side of that, or the benefit of that, is that I can do anything I want whenever I want. It's kind of like being a single person. You got all that freedom, but you may miss that company a little bit. So with a band, you got all that company, but you might miss a little bit of the freedom. So it is, each its own thing. I recently had a solo show booked where I brought in a friend of mine on piano, and then another friend showed up with trumpet, and my whole night was lifted like several notches because those two guys were there, and I was totally inspired by their performances. So the answer is, as if I'm a politician, yes to both. Okay.
Very good.
Solo and a band.
That's good.
Yeah. Most of the time I'm on roads, they're overseas. I spend a lot of time in the UK, England, Wales, and Scotland, and the roads are quite beautiful, and they're narrow. We were just talking today about how our society's built around highways and things, but when you get into Europe and the UK, they have tiny roads because they're built on the pedestrian way of life. But as far as on the road and what it's like, not necessarily the road, this is my motto. My bass player over in England and I always talk about this, is that when you're on the road, you are a hunter-gatherer at all times. You are gathering information about where to wash your clothes, where to find your food, where to find the gig, hunter-gatherer. And you have to make a choice between eating and sleeping. You can't do both. Like you get in at like midnight to do a B&B and they say breakfast is served between 7 and 8 o'clock. So you got to choose. Am I going to sleep or I'm going to eat? So, but all funniness aside, the road is an opportunity to stimulate your mind and your imagination and to open yourself up to new experiences and new people and expand your horizons. It's hard sometimes, but the rewards are great.
A couple of one-word questions.
Oh boy, I hate those because I go on and on.
I mean, this is simple stuff for the most part.
Okay.
Favorite color?
Purple. Deep purple, like a reddish purple, warm. Oops, that was one word. That was supposed to be one
okay.
word.
No, it's fine. What about your favorite number?
7.
Why?
I don't know. 7 and 9. See, it's another 2 answer. 7 just sounds lucky, doesn't it? Think about it. 7th heaven. I don't know. What else is associated with 7? It just looks. Plus, in Spanish, we had to put that little line in the middle and it made it special. 7.
And 7 is also the number of completeness, right?
Is it?
Terms.
Is it?
I think so.
I love it. Yeah.
What about I just had one. Oh, new or vintage?
New or vintage? Depends on what you're talking about. If you want fresh food, I say new. If you want vintage, I say clothes. Because I'm wearing some vintage boots from Wales, remember?
Yes, that's right. Nice.
Yeah, and new guitars are nice. They're beautiful. But nothing can take the place of an instrument that's had years on it and lots of love and use. It's like a tree. A tree that grows really fast is not going to be as strong and beautiful as one that takes hundreds of years to grow. Compare a sequoia to a popcorn tree. See what I mean? So is that answering new and vintage?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
These are all
And look at the wines. Talk about wines. Really,
Yeah.
some things just take time in the natural world. It's like if you're a farmer, you know better than I do probably, because you know that tomatoes that you wait until they're exactly ripe and you let them go through the natural cycle are going to be tasty and red and ripe. But if you go gas them up and ship them off while they're green, they're not going to taste good. So that sort of answers. That's a strange answer, isn't it, between the new food and the vintage clothes?
No, it's.
But it brings them both together.
It makes sense. I mean, I get it.
It's just, honoring the cycle of things, whatever it is.
No, that's perfect.
Okay, good.
Favorite season?
Fall, I think, because those are my colors.
I agree.
Yeah. Warm fall colors.
Wow, that was the fastest thing.
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
I almost got a one-word answer in it, didn't I?
Yeah, and with an explanation, that was kind of like that.
Yeah.
What do you look for in a friend?
And a friend, loyalty. Loyalty.
You have some pretty loyal friends?
Mm-hmm. Some amazing friends. One particular friend took $5,000 on her personal credit card and sent me off to England a few years ago to record my last studio album. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Which album is that?
Tempered in Fire. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I don't know. I think that's important, isn't it?
It is.
Well, I have to tell you that the second song I sang for you is a title track from an album I did several years ago, my first studio album. It's been out of print for several years, and my friends and fans have asked me to, bring that album back. And so the same friend and some new friends just pitched in quite a good bit of money to get me back in the studio to remix and add some bonus tracks to that original album. And it's going to be coming out in a few months. So I'm really excited about that. And that's the title track off the album, the new old album. That's the new vintage thing.
Yeah.
I'm changing is the new vintage thing. Yeah, so those songs, people love those songs. And when fans ask me which album has I'm changing on it, I want to be able to say, here it is.
Yeah.
Not only here it is, but here's some more. There's some new material on there too. I'll tell you the truth. I was dating this guy at the time, and we had an argument about the way he was feeding my dog, my little dog Babaloo, because he had a big dog, and whenever he fed Babaloo, he put the food out for both of them, and Babaloo would eat too much. Babaloo was a Dachshund; they're not supposed to eat that much. So we had this argument about it, and he slammed out the door of the little studio I was sitting in. I had the guitar in my hand. And I wrote, I'm changing. That's how it happened. That's literally how it happened. Because I just saw, in that moment, I just saw the shift in our relationship. I know it seems trivial, but sometimes those things can trigger something deeper. And so it was there, and that made it happen. And that's literally how it happened. Had the guitar in my hands.
Right.
Nothing like having the guitar in your hands when you get an idea to write a song. And it all came immediately like that. The song was like complete. And the a cappella song I did, in the morning when I woke up, the song was all there. It was completely there. I never had music. It was always a cappella. So it was a gift. Just a gift.
I saw you played at Glastonbury.
I did.
Tell us
It
about
was
that.
like winning the golden ticket in Willy Wonka Land. I'm serious. And you wouldn't believe the number of people at that place and all the tents. And it was one of those rare, beautiful sunny days in England. And we had to go through all these security things. And I literally had, and I have it somewhere still, the ticket to get backstage. And it had looked like a gold embossed thing. And you had to go through all these security checks. And I was playing in the acoustic tent, which was huge, huge, in the afternoon. That night, Paul McCartney was headlining, which was really incredible. And yeah, Glastonbury was great. It's great. Largest festival in Europe, isn't it? Outdoor festival? Yeah, yeah. It was amazing. And what a fun time. Good memories. How do you know about Glastonbury?
I think I used to.
Oh.
Well, my wife's English too.
Oh, really? Where's she from?
London.
All right.
Yeah.
I know where that is.
Radiohead was playing one year, and we were trying our hardest to go.
Oh, wow.
You
Yeah.
like Radiohead though?
Do I like
Wow.
Radiohead?
I love Radiohead.
All right,
Seen
there
it
you
like
go.
3 times.
Yeah. Remember I told you the story about my friend who got me started to make my last studio album over in England? Well, it just so happens that one of the cuts from that album that I wrote is now the theme song for the Beau Rivage commercial. So if you hear wah, 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 that's me. That's cool, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So there you
that
go. All over New Orleans and Tunica and Gulfport, Biloxi. So there you go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how did it happen?
You know, I'm not 100% sure, but I think a fan of mine, son, who works at the Beau Rivage in the graphic design department, told them about me, and they looked at my Reverb Nation page and listened to that song, and somehow they decided to use it. So it's been running now for several months, and they liked it so much they asked for one more month. So it'll be out there for a little bit longer. Yeah, so there you go. That's it. I thought that was cool. Hello, I'm Lisa Mills, and this has been my Oxford session. Thank you very much.